name?
My name is Anthony Ogogo.
When did you realise you wanted to be a boxer?
I started boxing at 12 years old, and as soon as I started boxing, I realised that this was a sport for me, and I didn't want to pursue football or swimming anymore. This was going to be where I was going to, exert all my efforts.
What was your first achievement?
So the best thing I did was the Olympic Games in 2012. I worked really hard and I fought really hard, and I was able to win the bronze medal for me and for Great Britain, and I think that's the pinnacle of any amateur athlete. To go to the Olympic Games and win a medal for their country is just the best thing that you can probably do.
Why did you retire from boxing?
So I had to retire from boxing earlier this year because I hurt my eye. Obviously boxing is an amazing sport and it's so much fun, and it teaches you so much about like discipline and respect and working hard. And boxing taught me how to be very humble when you win, and also when you lose to be very graceful. However, the bad side about boxing is it's a very physical sport and you can get hurt. And unfortunately, in my last fight 3 years ago, I got punched in my eye and had to have lots of operations on it, and I couldn't get my eye back to a level where I could compete again, so I had to retire.
When you was boxing, what was your routine?
People in boxing always say it's the hardest sport in the world because you can play football, you can play rugby, but you can't play boxing when it requires all your energy and your strength. So yeah, you've got to give it your absolute all. So I used to wake up early in the morning and do my cardio, usually a run. Then I'd come home, have my breakfast, stretch my legs, and then I'd go to the gym and do my weights. I'd go home, have some lunch, rest for 2 or 3 hours, and at about 4 o'clock I'd go back to the boxing gym, and that's where I do my main boxing session. And sometimes it can get really hard, and sometimes you do the same thing over and over again, and it can be quite boring. But what you've got to do in that moment, you've got to remember why you started. And I always wanted to win a medal at the Olympic Games. So that focus on what I wanted to achieve was enough to keep me disciplined. Right, Zarraiyah, we're gonna skip. The best way to warm up for boxing is skip, but do you know why? Because you'll be nice and light on your toes, okay? So, whoa. Then when you get really good, you can jump and skip twice. Woo. Give that a go. So calm down, go a bit slower, Hey! High knees, high knees, high knees. Woo! Well done. You're making me look bad now.
How do you protect yourself?
Boxing is a very dangerous sport. Like, you can't go swimming and not get wet. And what they say in boxing is you can't box and not get hit. But it's your job as the boxer to not get hit very much. I'd spend a lot of time blocking, rolling, slipping block punches and working on my defense. And it's just obvious, the less you get hit, the more you get to protect your pretty little face. If you work hard and perfect offensively and defensively, you stand a much better chance of not getting seriously hurt.
What did you like at school?
So when you're at school, people don't realise how much fun it is. It's the best time of your life. It's so much fun. You get to see your best friends every single day, you get to play football at break time, lunchtime, after school. It's just amazing. My favourite lessons probably were PE, and I loved drama.
When you was in school, did you try hard in all your subjects, or did you just try hard in PE because that was your favourite?
I always knew that I wanted to be a boxer, so I was always going to work really hard in that. But I always knew that at some point I was going to retire from boxing, because you can't be 100 years old and box, unfortunately. So I always wanted to work really hard at school to get good at maths, English, science, geography, because one day when I retired from boxing, I wanted to go off and do a whole new career doing something else. And I knew if I was clever and I had good exam results, then that would open lots of doors for me. So I worked really hard, and as I mentioned earlier, whether it's school or whether it's your sport, one day it's all going to be over. And when you look back, you don't have any regrets. You want to look back and go, you know what, I gave my all and I'm really proud of myself. So when you punch, hand up to protect your lovely little face. So jab, right. On nice, and again, and again. Now on a double jab, so 2 lefts. Nice, and a right. Well done, check you out. Now, do you want to do some rolling?
Okay.
Right, so a roll is when you go whoop, then you go, don't go too low. Whoa, nice, and up, other way. Nice. You're like a Power Ranger. Left, left, right. Left, left, right. And again, left, left. Last one, left, left. Boom, well done.
Do you have any advice for other people who want to become wrestlers or boxers?
My advice, not just people who want to become boxers or wrestlers, like, I think this advice goes to everybody. I personally think that the skills you learn to be a good boxer, those skills are transferable to be a good anything. You just got to work hard, because we only get one life and you only get one chance at your career. I can look back on my career and be very proud because I worked so hard every single day. I gave it my all. Every training session, every match, like play like it's your last ever one, because one day it will be your last one and you can't get your career back. So just work as hard as you can and maximize every bit of potential that you have or I have or anybody has. Maximize that potential as much as they possibly can.